everyone. I am Janine Davis of James Davis and Associates. I believe everyone can succeed and be happy with the right encouragement, inspiration, and motivation. I'm here to provide some of that with today's confidence tip of the day. That tip is, it is good to have standards. Do not lower your price just because people don't know your value. Seriously, you need to have standards. Boost your confidence with the knowledge that it is good for you to have standards. These are bare minimums that you have to accept. Now, just because I'm calling it a bare minimum doesn't mean it's a small thing. Your standards can be big. Your standards can be lofty. Your standards can be huge and high. There is nothing wrong with that. It is good to have standards. These are the rules that are required for you to be present in a situation. So, for example, if you're going to go to an event, it has to be at a certain kind of location. I remember when my husband and I were first married, we'd stay overnight or spend the weekend at these little rinky-dink motels that were in southern New Jersey. We drive over from Pennsylvania. We lived in Philadelphia at the time. We drive to the little rinky-dink motel. And these are 1-star places, 2-star places if we dreamed. And we'd spend the weekend. But now it's 30 years we've been married, almost 31. We've got different standards. We need to be at least at a 4 or 5-star hotel to even consider it. Our standards have changed. So in order for us to stay at your hotel, you have to be at least a 4 or 5-star hotel, or you will not have our presence. That's what you need to have for yourself and in your life. Standards, rules for requirement that must be met if you're going to be present. If you're going to participate in an activity, certain things must be in place. You know how movie stars and those big performing artists, they have writers with their contracts. If you want me to perform, I need to have a case of Evian water for my feet to soak in, and I need to have this champagne and this type of caviar. Those are their standards. They do not lower their standards based on where they're going or what they do. They have standards that must be met. That's the same thing for you. Boost your confidence with the knowledge that it is okay for you to have standards. At the same time, boost your confidence with the knowledge that not everyone is going to respect your standards. And they don't have to. If they don't respect your standards, don't try and convince them. Don't push on it. This is not a fighting issue. You take yourself and your high standards and you move on. No one else has to respect your standards, but you always have to respect the standards that you set for yourself. That's a non-negotiable thing. Boost your confidence with the knowledge that some people are going to question your standards. They're going to look at you and say, "You? How dare you have standards? You are nothing. You are nobody. How dare you have standards?" Forget them people. They're going to question, why do you have standards based on where you are in life and where you came from? There are going to be people who say those standards are ridiculous. You should stay at a 1-star hotel. They have a bed. They have a door. What more do you want? Have your standards. Whatever your standards are, you have to respect them. If other people don't respect your standards, they don't get to have your presence. And that's just how life works. No one has to respect your standards but you. At the same time, if people do not respect your standards, they do not respect you. Do not allow them to have your presence. Even if you are the only person on the planet Earth who respects your standards, respect them. We have all heard the expression, you train people for how to treat you. And that's what you do when you have standards. You are saying, this is how I want to be treated. This is what I have become accustomed to, or what I want to be accustomed to. This is how I want to be treated. This is how I want my life to operate. Keep those standards. You have to remember that you have a value, you have a worth, you have a quality that is worth being respected. You need to recognize that. You may have once been something that was in the dollar store, and it's okay because we all like dollar store treats. But if you are now no longer a dollar store item and you are a luxury purchase, Be a luxury purchase and don't apologize for that. Your standards are your standards. Do not apologize for them. Respect them and demand that other people respect them as well. Your value is what it is. Even if those around you cannot afford to pay what your value is, even if those around you cannot meet your standards, so what? Your standards are your standards. Keep your standards and your head held high. No matter what the objections, and they're going to come at you with objections. They're going to tell you don't deserve to have that high standard. They're going to tell you that a person like you, coming from where you come from, with your history, with all the baggage you bring to the table, is not worthy of those high standards. Forget those people. My West Philadelphia just came out there. But forget those people. Your standards are your standards. You are worthy. You are worthy. You matter. You have value. And to borrow an expression from Spelman, it's your choice. It's your chance. Choose to rule your world. You get to choose what your standards are. Choose well. My standards may not work for you. Your standards will not work for me. Doesn't matter. My standards are my standards. Your standards are your standards. Set them, respect them, and demand that those around you respect them as well. And if they do not or cannot, move along. This is not one of those things that you're going to argue and fight and go back and forth about. Your standards are set. You set them. No one else sets them. Set your standards. You respect them. You keep them and expect other people to respect them as well. And if they can or won't, keep it moving. Set your standards high. Set them at what you want them to be and then keep them. Remember, you do not have to change your standards just because other people can't meet them. You do not have to change your standards to make other people happy. Your value is your value. Accept it, acknowledge it, and keep moving. Now, if you need more tips, tricks, and ideas on how to create the confidence you need to succeed, head on over to Janine'sWorld.com. Click on the Creating Confidence tab. I have books, I have articles, I have planners. I have videos, all kinds of things to help you create the confidence you need to succeed in your world. I also have a really awesome form at the bottom of the page. It's a contact form. Use it to get in touch with me so we can work together. Use it to share tips that you have for creating confidence. Use it to tell me how these creating confidence tips are working in your world. I'd love to hear from you. Okay? And until next time, have a good day. Bye, everybody.